There's a little bit more here than there was last time. Oh wait. No. No, there's a lot more. Hello everybody, I'm Kate Cast, and I was thinking recently that it's been about 2 years since I did that video showing you all my movie and TV show, DVD and Blu Ray collection. It's about time for an update. Because as you might notice from that intro, collection's grown quite a bit. Now when I say new, I mean exactly that. I'm not going to go through all of these again because it would take forever and it would be kind of repetitive, honestly. If you want to know what was in the collection up until 2021, there are videos where I go over everything, my thoughts, some stories behind how I got certain things. That's what I'm going to do here, but just from the stuff I got in the last 2 years. So yeah, enough of an intro, you get the idea what we're about to do here. Let's take a look at how the collection's grown. So this shelf, apologies for the glare, now contains all my movies, and this one is for my TV shows. This one's starting to get full on the bottom shelf. It's making me very nervous. So one thing that's very new about this collection since the last time I did one of these videos is that I have a few criterions. The very first new thing here is 12 Angry Men. This is one of my lockdown watches. It's so good. You don't need me to tell you that, it's a classic. That's why it's a criterion. Anchorman. This was actually, get out of here, rival. This was actually a dollar store pickup. Well, the $1.25 store now. So, you know, how could I say no? It's a great comedy. Another criterion, Arsenic and Old Lace. Two things about this movie. One, I'm so thrilled it's in the Criterion collection. I apologize for the glare. Let me go over here. And two, I mentioned this briefly in the honorable mentions for my favorite TV shows. Not my favorite TV shows, blah. In my favorite movies list. And I thought it was super obscure, but this was the movie I got the most comments about that you guys said that you love too. So, you know, you guys got good taste. I can't believe I didn't own this already. The Austin Powers collection, the Shagadelic edition. I love the Austin Powers movies. It's one of those series that I absolutely love but don't talk about often. And yeah, all three movies, all of them great. Well, two great ones, and then there's The Spy Who Shagged Me. But probably a more essential trilogy to own, which again I'm glad I do now, is Back to the Future. Now yes, I did have this in the last video, but it was DVD, it was full screen. I had to replace it as soon as possible. Now, you might notice some of these have a special sticker on them, Book Off. I mentioned Book Off in the last video, I think. It's the secondhand bookstore in New York City, but they also specialize in DVDs, Blu-rays, collectibles, pretty much anything that nerds like to waste their money on. And since the last video, I have taken several more trips down to New York City, so a good amount of this buildup you can thank Book Off for. We'll point those out when they come. So I've gotten more comfortable with blind buying since the last time I did this video. One, because I make a little bit more money now, and two, I'm finding a lot of DVDs and Blu-rays on the cheap. So I'm a bit more comfortable with like spending a couple bucks here and there to find new things that I might not have otherwise. And that's what this is. I found this at a flea market for like $1. The 1943 movie serial collection for Batman. I haven't actually watched this yet. What I think it is like the very first movies that were ever made about Batman. Before Keaton, before Adam West, before anybody else, these were the short films they made to be released in like double features for movies and stuff. And again, for the record, I haven't watched this yet, but I'm very curious to, and if it's interesting enough, I'll let you guys know. This is one of the newest additions to the collection, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I got this for like $2 on Whatnot recently. Yes, I've gotten into Whatnot. My wallet is very sad that I have. But yeah, couldn't resist. It's such a sweet, wholesome movie. I loved it. I can't wait to watch it again. Bruce Almighty, another comedy I couldn't believe I didn't own already because I love it. Probably my favorite Jim Carrey movie that doesn't involve him chasing a CGI hedgehog. Oh, speaking of Jim Carrey, I upgraded my copy of A Christmas Carol to Blu-ray. That was a Black Friday pickup, I think. Oh, heck yeah. The Courier. Guys, if you have not seen this, please check it out, especially if you're someone like me who's so sad that such a great actor like Benedict Cumberbatch has been typecast. This is very different from the role he usually plays, and it's so good. Well, okay, the first 2/3 are okay. They're kind of like up my alley. I really like movies in this time period that are like espionage-y, but then the last third, guys, the last third. I'm not going to say anything else. Finally picked this up last year, Digimon Adventure Last Evolution Kazuna. I don't remember why it's called Kazuna, but this movie is very emotional if you're an original Digimon fan. I don't have as many issues with Digimon Tri as some people did, but I do vastly prefer this. Any fault you had with Digimon Tri, it's compensated for here, and it's great. I can't wait for the movie that's going to come out soon with the O2 cast. Did I have Enchanted last time? I can't remember. I think I did, but if I didn't, there it is. Everything Everywhere All at Once. This was a blind buy when I got it. I got it for Black Friday, and I asked my groups on Discord, we're like, guys, should I buy this? Because I've been hearing good things. And everybody was like, yes, 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 in all caps. So I did, and they were right. If you saw my favorite entertainment of 2022 list, you know how I feel about it. Another $1.25 store pickup, Florence Foster Jenkins. So you guys remember my Frankenstein adaptations video where I talked about that weird movie where John Hurt's a time traveler who goes back in time to meet actual Victor Frankenstein and Mary Shelley at the same time, and there's a talking car and everything? Well, I own that movie now. Kinda wish I did this video before I had to admit that. Another one I'm super happy to add to the collection, Forrest Gump. Yes, another book off purchase. I don't think I paid that for it though. Yeah, one of my all-time favorite movies. Oh, I forgot I had Frozen. This is what happens when you get too many movies, guys. Great movie, deserves all the praise. You guys are just mean. I'm hoping I can show this one on YouTube. Ghost. I got Ghost for Christmas because I really like the movie. This cover... let's just move on. Next row. Now when I first started getting into Criterion, of course I took advantage of the Barnes & Noble sale where they're all half off. And when I did that, I actually went to the Fifth Avenue Barnes & Noble in New York because my buddy Sebastian from Cinemageddon Reviews happened to be visiting. We both went down there, spent about half an hour in the Criterion section, and I came back with two. 12 Angry Men, which you saw up there, and what I consider my first Criterion collection, The In-Laws. I frigging adore this movie, man. I could quote this up and down. I was honestly shocked to learn it's in the Criterion collection, but I am so happy and proud to say that that's my first Criterion. Is it anything pretentious or artistic? Not especially, but it's great. In the Heights. How could I not pick this up? It's fantastic. Jojo Rabbit. Weirdly expensive Blu-ray, which is why I got it secondhand, but, you know, there were so many times where I was tempted to just pay the full price because it's, again, so good. Oh! Finally picked up La La Land. That was a Black Friday pickup too, I think. We got the Lego Movie, the second part, and thankfully that now completes my entire Lego Movie collection on Blu-ray. And it's sadly probably going to stay complete. I hate that they're not making these movies anymore. Now, like I said, Book Off is a secondhand store. It's where people go to dump off their Blu-rays and DVDs that they don't want anymore, which means they've likely watched it at least a few times. They're always clean, don't worry. I've never had a problem with, like, condition for a Book Off movie, but just saying, you're not going to get brand new. So to find sealed, it's very rare. The Les Miserables 25th Anniversary Concert. This was sealed, and it was super cheap. This is another one that's weirdly hard to find, so I was really glad to pick this up because this is probably my definitive version of Les Miserables. I don't want to say that. I have pros and cons with pretty much any cast of Les Mis I've seen, but if I'm gonna have a go-to listen to Les Miserables, it's usually gonna be this version. I apologize for any glare, by the way. This is a super awkward setup. I'm doing the best I can. Oh! Speaking of Sebastian, when we met up, that was the very first time we met up when we went to the Barnes & Noble, he gave me something, and it was a very generous something. The Lord of the Rings trilogy on 4K. No, I have not seen these. I am ridiculed a lot for it, but it is on my list because I think I would really enjoy them. This was very generous. I know you're watching, Sebastian, so thank you very much. Only problem, he knows this, but only problem is, that's just the 4K. And I do not have a way to play 4K movies. So, it's more of a gesture, but I still appreciate it, and I will still watch the movies. Just not on that. Maybe on the digital codes. He said they're not redeemed. Madame Curie. My mom and I love this movie. It's a great classic. I upgraded my DVD of Mamma Mia to Blu-ray. My sister got me this for Christmas. I was tempted to ask my mom, but she can't stand Mamma Mia, so I knew that wasn't going to happen. If I wanted to get this, it was going to have to be through my sister, who enjoys that movie. So after the mix-up with the Lord of the Rings collection, I think Sebastian was trying to make it up for me. So for Christmas this year, he gave me the Mamoru Hosoda movie collection. When he gave me this, I had not seen any of them, but I'd wanted to see Summer Wars for a really long time. So when Christmas came along, he gave me this to educate me on the best of anime, as he often does. I have since seen Summer Wars. It is fantastic. I do plan to watch The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, and I don't remember what this movie's called. I'm very sorry, but I plan to watch it. Wolf Children, I don't think I can do it. I don't think my heart can handle it. The MCU section has grown considerably since last time, to the point that a lot of it's now down here, too. As of this recording, on my way to get every single MCU movie, I am now only missing 3. The Incredible Hulk, The Eternals, and Wakanda Forever. In terms of new additions, Thor the Dark World. Got it again for super cheap. That was about as much as I was willing to pay for Thor the Dark World. And I don't even dislike Thor the Dark World as much as some people do. Finally have Age of Ultron. I don't know why that took me so long to get. People are way too hard on that movie, but you've seen my video, you know that. And if you haven't seen my video, just, you know, up there. Or there's a playlist of all the Marvel movies. Finally got Thor Ragnarok. Thor was horribly misrepresented in this group last time I did one of these videos, but now I have all of his movies. I gotta be super careful putting these back because these are really expensive pops now. Most of what's down here is all of Phase 4. Well, most of it. Like I said, I'm missing Eternals and Wakanda Forever. But in the meantime, we got Black Widow, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, possibly my favorite Phase 4 movie. This was fantastic. I loved it a lot. Whether it's my favorite, it depends on what day of the week it is. Spider-Man No Way Home. I bought this like as soon as it came out because I wanted to do a video on it right away, and then it took me 8 months to do the review, and this had been on sale like 8 times in that time period, so don't regret that at all. Of course, I had to go a little above and beyond for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness for my precious Rebound favorite character. This is the Target exclusive edition. I looked high and low to try and find the best version of the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness that I could, and this was my personal favorite. Check this out. This is so cool. It's got like this little digibook, and it comes with these art cards. It's great. I love it. And finally, Thor: Love and Thunder. Coming up next onto Infinity War and Beyond sometime in the summer. I haven't decided, I haven't scheduled it yet. I think this is my most recent Criterion pickup, and probably the last one I wanted really, really badly, Mildred Pierce. This is a favorite of mine, this is a favorite of my mom's. It's an excellent film. If you have not watched it, I highly recommend it. Yes, I bought a Hallmark movie because it's one of the like 4 that I really like, even if it's cheesy as all hell, but I find it kind of cute. And because there's so many Hallmark movies, they're weirdly hard to find on streaming, so, you know, why not? The weirdest thing about this, though, is that this movie is about Santa Claus, kind of. Like, it's about this family, but they meet Santa Claus, except the Santa isn't anywhere on here or on the back. It's really weird. That dog's not in until the last 5 minutes, and yet he gets the cover. This might be the Criterion I'm most excited about. One Night in Miami. I'm feeling bad now because I'm realizing none of my Criterions are open. But I love them, I promise. This might be the first one to get open because I really want to watch this again because I've been re-listening to the soundtrack lately. So good, so good, so good, so good, so good. Another cheap blind buy, Penguins of Madagascar. I really love the penguins from the Madagascar series. I have not watched this movie. People are surprised when I say I love the penguins, but I haven't watched the movie. It's kind of because I was really attached to the TV show version. I don't know, I couldn't bring myself to watch the movie because I didn't want to see them changed. But I'm getting over that. I've watched like the first half hour and I'm looking forward to finishing it. I think the only new thing added to the Pokemon shelf is Kyurem and the Swords of Justice. I need to get Secret of the Jungle to fill in this slot, and then I sadly think that's it. I don't know if it has anything to do with Ash's departure or what, but they stopped making the Pokemon movies, which is weird. They've made a Pokemon movie consistently every single year since the first one. It's very concerning. I'm hoping that they pick it up again at some point. I think that's it for this shelf. I think you saw all this last time, so what's new down here? Oh, it's getting dark. Ooh! Rocket Man! Rocket Man, aka what Bohemian Rhapsody should have been, and kind of solidifies that I will watch pretty much anything Taron Egerton is in and have a great time. Saving Mr. Banks, I think this is an insanely underrated movie. I love this movie. I'm saying that a lot in this video, I'm realizing. But hey, if I didn't love them, I probably wouldn't buy them. Okay, so I'm usually always on the lookout for versions of Sherlock Holmes movies and shows and stuff that I have not seen, because I've seen most of the high-profile ones. But Sherlock Holmes is the most adapted fictional character ever. So there's always weird versions out there. And at Book Off, again, Book Off's usually where I do most of my blind buying because it's super cheap. This collection of Sherlock Holmes films. Now, I have not watched these yet, but I was intrigued because there wasn't much to go on from them. I looked it up later. I think a lot of these were produced by Hallmark. And there's a lot of the usual suspects on here. You've got an adaptation of Hound of the Baskervilles, The Sign of Four. You get your usual fare there. But then, if the camera will focus, The Case of the Whitechapel Vampire. Right then and there, I had to know what that was, so immediately, buy. And again, if it's weird enough or just noteworthy enough, I will let you guys know. Follow my Twitter, join the Discord, because if I'm ever going to mention this thing again, it's going to be on there. Speaking of Sherlock Holmes, remember last time I did this video when I mentioned that I had the 2 Robert Downey Jr. movies in a small little collection box and I'd be tempted to get steelbooks when the 3rd movie came out? Well, I'm getting very concerned about that 3rd movie because they've been very quiet about it since lockdown, and WB is not in a great place right now. So I caved and found these for cheap. I got the first one and the second one. It's weird, I like the first movie more, but this steelbook is sleek. Did I rebuy a pair of movies I already own and pay twice the price for them just so I can get them in a cooler case? You know what, guys? I won't judge you if you don't judge me. And those aren't the only new steelbooks I've gotten since the last time I did one of these videos. We also have Sonic the Hedgehog 2. This is quite possibly my new favorite steelbook. It used to be Mary Poppins Returns, but like, I mean, come on, look at that. It looks sick. And yes, just in case anyone's wondering, reviews coming soon. When? I don't know. I don't want to set a date because then I feel like there's going to be a delay. Star is Born, another $1.25 store pickup. I feel like for that price, I was willing to. Don't know if I'm going to keep this because this is a tough movie, man. If you guys have watched this, you know this is a tough watch. Ah, yeah! Teacher's Pet, Teacher's Pet. Now, did I own this movie already? Yes, but it's in that thing. If you remember from the last video, this is a bunch of my loose DVDs from when I was a kid. I'd wanted to get Teacher's Pet with the case for such a long time. And then my friend Jinx from Jinx Productions, he sent it to me for my birthday, which was so nice of him. And what I love about these kinds of used copies of DVDs is that it has an interesting history behind it. It's a Blockbuster copy. That is hilarious. And it's in really good shape too. It's like new. This is going to be one of the most unique DVDs in my collection for a lot of reasons, so thank you, Jinx. You're the best. This is the only blind buy in this collection that I don't regret that I haven't watched yet. Top Cat Begins. I have not watched this because why would I? But I'm such a big Top Cat fan that I feel like I kind of have to, so yeah. Well, I've got no excuse now. This came in the same Whatnot lot as A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood did, and it was like $3, so I figured, you know, I mean, I do want to watch this movie, so I feel like once I get the urge again, I won't have an excuse, or like the feeling won't pass because I'll have it right here and I won't have to rely on it being on streaming. And if I think it's as hilariously bad as I think it is, then great, I have a copy right next to my other hilariously bad movie. But if I don't, then, well, there's always donating it. But I'm still not doing a video on it. Do not ask me. I'm so happy about this. The Wallace and Gromit collection. It comes with all the movies, including A Matter of Loaf and Death, which I did not have before. The only thing about this one, maybe you guys can help me. Do you think it goes on the movie shelf? Because they are short movies, but they were broadcast on television. It was on the TV section for a while, but that didn't feel right, so I don't know. Let me know what your opinions are in the comments. Another reason I put the Wallace and Gromit collection here is because I wanted it to go with my Blu-ray copy of Curse of the Were-Rabbit! And it's one of the few, like, characters' faces being really close up to the camera on the cover that doesn't look atrocious. Let's see, is there anything else? Yes, 2 more. So you might have noticed me joking about it, or even if you follow me on Tumblr, like that few months or so where I got really back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Last year. I was rewatching a bunch of the original series, I was looking up all sorts of stuff about it and its fan base. And just a quick side thing, I'll show this off if I ever do a Funko Pop collection video, but my friend Jinx also got my Blue Eyes White Dragon Funko Pop signed by Eric Stewart, the voice of Seto Kaiba. It's one of my favorite things ever. So that means I finally watched and bought The Dark Side of Dimensions. If you are an OG Yu-Gi-Oh fan and you're like me and you just kind of prefer the original series and you want to see just one last adventure with the original crew with gorgeous animation, then this is the movie for you. I cannot recommend it enough. Oh yeah, I forgot another sign of my current Yu-Gi-Oh fixation. I've got a Summon Skull mystery mini. I want to get more of these because they're really cool. And last but certainly not least, I think this is my most recent pickup, Zootopia. Again, in that same Whatnot lot. And that is my movie collection, guys. I think there's more variety now than there was a couple years ago. But now it is time for the TV shows. Now the TV shows collection, there isn't too much new stuff compared to the movies at least, but there was enough where I had to get a whole nother shelf. You might remember they used to be over here, but now this is where my video games and soundtracks are. Plus there's some really like long-awaited grails in here that I'm really excited to show you guys and tell you about, so let's just dive right in. First off, the Ace Attorney anime. Screw the haters, this is awesome. I love it so much, I am obsessed with it, and to be perfectly honest, it's officially made me a right worshipper. So yeah, that's the first season, which covers the first 2 games, and the second season, which covers the third, which I haven't watched most of this because I haven't finished playing Trials and Tribulations yet. I'm working on it right now. But there are a lot of bonus episodes with this season, and I have watched those, and they're great. I don't know why people are so hard on this anime. Like, it's kind of awkward at points, and sometimes the animation's not the best, but I loved it. I finally got Avatar: The Last Airbender on Blu-ray. That was super cool. This was a birthday gift from my sister. And I got the second season of Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes on Blu-ray. I should have gotten this sooner, but I waited a while, but then I realized I didn't want to wait too long because this, the first season, it's out of print, at least on Blu-ray, and it's stupid expensive. I think it's over $100 at the moment, and I was scared that this was going to go out of print, so I decided I should probably get this before that happens. One of my favorite shows, I'm so happy to finally have this, the complete series of Community on Blu-ray. Not much else to say, I'm just super happy, and check out those features. And just in case anybody's wondering, because I did get tagged several times when this was announced, yes, I am very happy that we're finally getting the full promise, and it will be 6 seasons and a movie. Although if it's a movie, I'll probably have to go over there. Is there any new Doctor Who over here? Yeah, there's a few. Like this. The animated Power of the Daleks. This is the animated restoration of Patrick Troughton's first story, the second Doctor's first story, which was mostly lost. And this is really good. It's really gothic. It's probably one of my favorite classic Dalek stories now. Also got some new classic collections. We've got one of the John Pertwee ones, season 2. And we've got the first season of Tom Baker's run. I just realized this isn't opened. How? I was so excited to get this. I love John Pertwee's era. I really, really need to open this because I really want to watch some classic James Bond style Doctor Who. I think the only other new Doctor Who thing on here, again apologies for the glare, is Meglos. I haven't watched this one yet, I don't know it very well, but Tailored Vision Productions, he has an audio adventure series for Doctor Who, which is fantastic. It's like my favorite fan-made Doctor Who thing ever that's not about him as a pony. Highly recommend it, go listen to it. But he has a reference to this story, and I found it for cheap, so I decided to pick it up, and then I found out later that it's bundled in one of the classic collections on Blu-ray, so, you know, not bitter about that. Nothing else new here? Next shelf. Guys. They put Ghosts on Blu-ray. I couldn't believe that. I thought at least maybe it would get a DVD release, but Blu-ray? That was so incredible. This was apparently like one of the first things my mom got me for Christmas this year, because she could tell how badly I wanted it once I realized it was out there. I have a video on the first season. If you want to go check it out, it'll probably be up there. Also got the second season of Historic Materials. Personally didn't enjoy this as much as the first one, but it is still really good, and I might do a video on it. I haven't decided yet. And yes, I will get the third season. Has the third season come out on Blu-ray yet? I have to check that. I haven't checked. Along with book 1 from last time, I also have Infinity Train book 2. For a good week, this was like the most valuable DVD in my entire collection because of the disaster that happened with taking it off streaming. That said, I am glad it's still available to widely purchase, at least the first 2 books. You don't know how much I wish they'd release books 3 and 4. I don't think that's ever gonna happen, but if they did, I would buy it immediately. Because this is an amazing show, one of the best shows I've ever seen. If you are sleeping on Infinity Train, find a way to watch it. I promise you it's worth every second. Okay, this is one of my favorite pickups since the last time I did one of these videos. The complete series of Monk. I've talked about Monk before, briefly. Any chance I will get the chance to talk about Monk, I absolutely will. It's my favorite detective-related thing that has nothing to do with Sherlock Holmes. I love it. And the best part about this is that this was a Black Friday deal. I got the entire series, 8 seasons, for $30. That might be one of the best deals in my entire collection. By the way, this set is constantly going on sale, not for that cheap, but pretty darn close. So if anything I say about Monk intrigues you, definitely pick it up. Take a chance. It's great. Something that surprisingly wasn't in my collection before was copies of the Pokemon anime. I've got a bunch of the movies. You'd think I get the shows, but for whatever reason, I either had trouble justifying it to myself, or it was at a point in time where they weren't really releasing the seasons on physical media. Now we're at a point where they're slowly making nice box sets for every single season, and yeah, I've started collecting them. I don't know if I'm gonna get every single season, because that's kind of a tall order. But to start off with, I've at least got some of my favorites. We've got Pokemon Master Quest, my personal favorite of the Johto seasons. This has got some of the best multi-part episodes and arcs in the original run. Advanced Battle, my personal favorite of the Advanced generation. And haters gonna hate, Black and White. I will never apologize for how much I enjoy Black and White. When I was doing the Ash Ketchum video and I was looking back on all these seasons of the anime, I realized I should preserve some of this and be able to watch it whenever I want, because it hops around on streaming a lot. It's not easy to find all the seasons in one single space. So that's why I decided to start doing this, and you know what? I'm glad I am. This is a fun pickup. My mom and I kind of went in on this together because it was Christmas time and both our wallets were hurting at that point. But we got the complete Rankin Bass Christmas collection. This has literally everything Rankin Bass Christmas related that you can imagine, including Little Drummer Boy Book 2. But that's another one that's tough because there's movies in here, but they all air on TV, so I feel like TV is like just the right place for it. And that's why Rudolph is over here now, but I couldn't really separate the Rankin Bass stuff, and I think this is a good spot for it. This is a fun one. Rapunzel'S Tangled Adventure on Blu-ray. This is a show I can't believe I've never reviewed because it's fantastic. And I didn't think it was going to be fantastic when it was announced, but boy did the show go harder than it needed to. Now, if you are surprised that you didn't hear about this, don't worry. It's one of those like Disney Movie Club exclusives, so that's probably why you haven't heard about this. Yeah, see right there. I'm not part of the Disney Movie Club. I overpaid for this on eBay, and it was worth every penny. A Hanna-Barbera collection I can't believe I didn't own until now. The Secret Squirrel Show! I'm still hanging on to hope that maybe someday we'll get a cool Secret Squirrel movie, but in the meantime, it's nice to have all the show again. Speaking of versions of Sherlock Holmes I didn't have before from over in the movie collection, we have the complete collection of Sherlock Hound. This was another show I discovered during lockdown. You can watch most of the show officially on YouTube, so if you want to check it out before making a big purchase like this, because this is kind of pricey, I'd recommend doing that because it's fun and charming and cute. Not fully faithful, but it has a lot of fun moments, and this was one of the very first projects by Mr. Hayao Miyazaki. So if you just want to watch something that looks pretty and has some Sherlock Holmes overtones to it, definitely recommend. Yeah, see? Hayao Miyazaki. And this person who I don't know. Even though you can watch it fully on YouTube, I got it because the resolution and transfers are pretty fantastic. Like I said, this is a Miyazaki project technically, so you want the most gorgeous resolution possible, and this Blu-ray transfer definitely provides that. And I think this is the last one, the complete Tennessee Tuxedo and His Tales collection. Last time I did one of these videos, I just had that, that one of like 10 or 12 of the shorts, but this is all of it, including some ones that were clearly lost to time, so they're like some fans' VHS rip. that I guess they, you know, transferred onto DVD. But that's fine with me because it's all here and I can watch all of it, and I've watched most of it, and yeah, it's pretty great. And for the shows, that's about it. Hello, future KCast here to say that one of these days I'll post these collection videos around the time I actually film them. Everything you saw up to this point was a couple months ago. I'm just now getting around to editing it, and because of that, there are a few more additions to the collection. Not too many, but again, want to be as updated as possible, so we're just going to go over the new additions really quickly. Doctor Strange, the animated version. I have not seen this. I really want to. I've heard nothing but good things. I do keep a thread going on Twitter of new movies I watch for the very first time throughout the year, so if you want to know my thoughts on this movie when I watch it, follow me on Twitter. Moana, great movie. I don't watch it enough. We don't appreciate it enough. It's so good. Hey look, a Sherlock Holmes movie, who would have guessed? Yes, Mr. Holmes. This is a cute movie. I liked it quite a bit. Ian McKellen is a great older Holmes. You know, if you're a Sherlock Holmes fan, give it a try. It's pretty good. These are the most recent ones, I think. I upgraded Toy Stories 1 and 2 to Blu-ray. Finally, that was long overdue. 3 and 4 still need to be added. I'll get there. And finally, a long-awaited addition to the Marvel section, The Incredible Hulk. I cannot tell you how long I've been hunting for this movie for cheap, but now the hunt is over, and that means that... I'll fix that later. I know it's out of order. I'll fix it. That means that I have, apart from the third Iron Man movie, which as far as I'm concerned doesn't exist, I have the entirety of phases 1 through 3 on Blu-ray. And that feels pretty darn good. So yeah, a little unprofessional, I know, but there's the extra additions to the collection, and now that's the entire collection. But my birthday's coming up soon, so there's probably going to be more. But you won't see those until next year. Alright, back to past KCast. So that's the update on my DVD and Blu-ray collection as of 2023. You know, going through it, I'm pretty happy with it. I think there's some more variety this time. There's some more classics. I've got some extra income now, so I can splurge a bit. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff here, and as terrifying as it is that even these shelves are starting to get filled, I'm very happy with how my collection is turning out. If you like this, if this video does as well as the movie and TV show collection videos did back in 2021, because, man, those are some of my most popular videos of all time, maybe we'll do this again. Maybe we'll make it an annual thing. But hopefully we can do our best to just keep it to these two shelves. That would be, I'd appreciate that very much. But as always, thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.